If you're the kind of person who sweeps out their entryway and just throws the leaves and debris over the bank behind the woodshed with a shovel and a broom, you might be a Wilson. Instead of a hard hat and a chainsaw today, I have a broom and a shovel. This week I'm at my family's off-grid ranch cabin doing some cleanup. Not the kind of thing that would typically fit well into this channel, but as I was cleaning up this entryway, I realized, how can I not show you what's in this entryway? What is in here fits into this channel just as well or better than cutting down trees and milling them up into lumber. Wait until you see this. Okay, besides being really ugly because it's old and the paint's chipping off, do you know what this is? Over here we have a regular propane water heater that's also ugly because it's old and rusting. But this is a wood-fired water heater. No, not a hot water heater, but a water heater. So many people say hot water heater, which is silly because you don't heat hot water, you heat cold water and make it hot. I've got into that debate with some people. Is it called a water heater or a hot water heater? I never knew why people would call it a hot water heater. You don't heat hot water. You heat cold water. There's no reason to heat hot water because it's already hot. Now, some people think that's a silly debate, but I asked a real plumber about it one time, and he told me I am right. He verified it. It's not called a hot water heater, it's a water heater. But never mind that. Let's get back to the wood-fired water heater. I'll show you how it works. I'm doing a little maintenance on it, so this is the perfect time. This is the ashtray, which should have been cleaned out a long time ago. It is overfull. And of course, what are we going to do with the ashes? You just throw them over the bank and soil yourself in the process because you didn't judge the wind properly. At least that's what a Wilson would do. Of course, we wouldn't throw our trash over the bank. We just throw things like a few wood ashes and a few leaves. We're not barbarians or anything. These kind of things just add nutrients to the soil. We're recycling. I should have cleaned this thing out a long time ago. It's overflown. It's overflown or overflowed. It's gotten too full for its ashtray. Nobody's been staying here much lately. Like my dad says, the place is experiencing abandonment issues. Ashes are all cleaned out. That's not something we have to do very often. It'll go a long time before we have to clean the ashes out. Opening to the firebox. The plumbing on here is just like a regular water heater. Cold water in, hot water out, safety pressure valve, drain valve, temperature gauge, just over 50 degrees. One of the good things about this is it's a good way to utilize scrap wood. I like to use all that scrap wood that comes off of the wood splitter. Those flakes and chunks that just accumulate around a wood splitter. I think those are just perfect for this. You could use just the type of wood you find on the ground, small twigs, limbs. It doesn't take a lot of wood to get this heated up. All that wood splitter material has been rained on now, it's all wet. So right now I'm going to use some of this kindling material. It's a little bit of a small, awkward hole to get a fire going in, but it's not too difficult. It gets a good draft going quickly, which makes it easy to light. I think the biggest disadvantage to this is, besides the echo in here when you're trying to do a video, you have to plan ahead for when you want hot water. It's not like the gas one here that's always going and it's always hot. We do have the option for that here. Although I don't know when this was last lit, if it even works anymore. But with this, you have to plan ahead and light the fire a little while before you're going to want hot water. I like to light this early evening. And once this gets up to 120 degrees, there's going to be enough hot water in here to do the dishes and have enough left over for 2 good showers. After it gets going, you can shut the door, just let it do its thing. Every once in a while, come check on it, make sure it's still going, see if it needs a little bit more wood. You have to put wood in here several times before it gets up to temperature. About 15 minutes later, time to put a little more wood in here. This is soft wood, so it doesn't last very long. Bigger pieces of hardwood don't have to put wood in as much. In about 15 minutes, it went from 50 degrees to almost 65. And that's just the beginning stages as we're getting a fire going and it's starting to warm up. This would be really good in a place where there's no electricity, no access to gas, or for someone who just wants to be self-sufficient, or a place like this where we just have more wood than we know what to do with. It's a way to utilize some of that wood. About an hour later, I think I put wood in here 4 or 5 times. It's about up to 120. There are still a few coals in there. If I just leave it, it'll probably go a little over 120. Earlier I said there's enough in there to do the dishes and 2 showers. If you wanted more than that, all you'd have to do is just keep the fire going. Then it would be more for more people to do a shower or whatever you want hot water for. I would like to be able to say, if you want one of these, you can go to this link and buy one, and I will get $10 million commission if you do. But I don't even know if they make these anymore. This thing is so old. The name on it is Hotpro. I've heard a rumor that they don't make, at least this company doesn't make them anymore. Hard to see it, but on the tag it says AquaFire Wood Burning Demand Water Heater. Hopefully someone still does make these, because when this one dies, I don't know what we're going to do. But that makes me think, what was the point of doing this video if I can't send you a link to go buy one? I was about to end this thing, so I need to come up with a point for this thing here pretty quick. I don't know, I got nothing. How about this? If I come up with some point for whatever I'm doing here, showing you this water heater, I'll do a part 2 and let you know what that is. Maybe later this summer we can do a video about cutting and splitting some wood for the water heater. I don't know. If there aren't any of these on the market, this could be an opportunity maybe for someone to build them. This thing's been here for decades and it works so well. If someone's not making these anymore, I think someone should. There we go, maybe that's a point for all of this. One of you, go make these. Excellent product. Somebody needs to make these. All right, that's good enough. That's a good enough reason for that. Now that I came up with a reason, we will end this here.